Kokoko, the Japanese explorer we've covered before on this channel, is back again with another terrifying adventure. This time they visited the Shinshukanko Hotel, and it definitely had the viewers talking. The hotel has long been whispered about as one of the most haunted spots in the region, and KOKOKO's exploration proves why.
言ったよね。
なんかありました？
いや、見えない。何今の音？何今の音？
翔ちゃんたちの音ではない。
ないよね。ちょっとこっちなんだろう。わかんないな。暗くてわかんない。
待って。
As he and his friend moved through the decayed rooms, the silence was shattered by what sounded unmistakably like a baby crying somewhere deep in the building. At first, they brushed it off and continued exploring, but when they entered another room, the sound came again, except this time it was much louder, sharper, and far more prominent. None of them could explain it, and the unease that you could feel through the screen made it clear they weren't expecting it. The mystery of the crying only adds to the disturbing history of this hotel, and the story is far from over. This investigation will continue in a future video on my channel. The Chilling Floor, a channel we've looked at before, uploaded yet another spine-chilling investigation in the exact same creepy castle as last time, based in the UK. The video shows the man behind the camera heading towards the staircase and standing at the top of them, when suddenly, noises start echoing from the lower floors.
We're doing a ghost hunt from a haunted castle. We're in a haunted castle. It is proper creepy. Whoa, who's that? Did you hear that noise? Down here, I swear to God. Is there someone there with us?
Come this way.
Honestly, I heard banging down here. I swear to God. We're in a haunted castle and it's proper freaky. I just heard some banging from down here.
Standing at the top of the stairs, the man begins by asking the direct questions. Is someone there with us? Almost immediately after, heavy bangs could be heard below, loud enough to shake the confidence out of the cameraman. Bravely, he descended to check, but once he reached the bottom, the space was completely empty. No one was there with no explanation for it. Alexis had been relaxing at home when he suddenly heard the front door rattling with heavy knocks, loud enough to make him jump. At first, he thought it must have been a delivery, or maybe a prank, but the noise was so persistent that he finally grabbed his camera and walked over. When he opened the door, the driveway stretched out in front of him completely empty, nothing even remotely out of place. He shrugged it off, clearly unsettled, but with no answers. But the real twist came from his wife. After the clip cuts, she revealed a photo she had taken inside the house at nearly the same moment. In the picture, a womanly figure could be seen, standing right where Alexis had been looking. The strange part was that he hadn't seen anyone at all. It was as if the figure could only be visible from inside the house through the glass. The couple were left with more questions than answers, wondering why only one of them seemed able to see what was there. Two friends were hanging out late at night, sharing drinks and laughs while one of them recorded the other singing and dancing around the room. The mood was light-hearted, nothing out of the ordinary, until something completely unexpected happened.
You're fucked. What? What? What are you doing? Did you not hear that? No. Are you sure? Can you hear that? Sinji.
As the camera focused on the woman dancing, the large mirror behind her suddenly shook on its own. The drunk woman froze mid-performance, her face instantly shifting from joy to fear. Without warning, she bolted back to the bed, clearly startled by whatever she thought she had just seen. The person behind the camera, a little confused and tipsy themselves, didn't notice anything unusual in the moment, but watching it back later raised an unsettling question. What could she have seen in the reflection that the camera and her friend didn't? Aria had checked into what was meant to be a quiet and uneventful stay at a hotel, but what she captured instead left viewers unsettled. The clip begins with her already in full panic, sprinting through long corridors while screaming for help.
Somebody help me! I'm feeling it! Help! Somebody help! Please! Somebody help me, please!
Her voice echoes through the empty halls, raw and distressed, as if she was being chased by something unseen. The sound of her desperate cries was what struck people the most, because it wasn't the type of scream someone fakes for attention. It was the sound of genuine fear. The footage cuts before we see what she was running from, leaving only questions. Was it another guest, something in her mind, or something far darker hiding in the hotel? Whatever the truth, this is just the start of Aria's terrifying experience. Not long after, another video surfaced, this one from hotel security footage.
Y'all, so here's video of that girl that posted, and I'm gonna let y'all know now, it gets really weird. It's like she acting like she's running from something or hiding from something, but there's literally nobody else in the frame. Like she tweaking.
Yeah, it is weird.
And the elevator door is not even closing. Like she playing hide and seek or something. But look, this ain't even the craziest thing. Like now the elevator, look, the elevator door is closed. This ain't even the craziest thing about this video though. I got like more video to show y'all, and it just gets super weird. So y'all just stay tuned.
It shows Aria from a different perspective, bolting down the same corridors while glancing over her shoulder again and again. What makes this footage unnerving is that she appears to be fleeing from absolutely nothing. No one is behind her, no shadow, no figure in sight. To anyone watching, she looks almost out of her mind, but the sheer terror in her movements makes it hard to believe she was imagining it. Even in the elevator, she was ducking behind corners. With both angles of footage now out there, the story only grows stranger, and there may be even more to uncover from this night. Not long after Aria's terrifying dash through the corridors, a new angle of the story emerged.
It's like all my stuff is just left here. It's crazy. You said what?
Don't get me on camera.
No, this is ridiculous. What the heck is this doing in here? Yo, hold on, y'all. Why the fuck is this in here? Hold this. Yo, y'all. This is crazy.
Oh my God. What?
At least you got some stuff you can take home.
This time, a hotel security guard entered one of the rooms with another staff member. The sight inside was shocking, with items scattered everywhere, and the place was in complete disarray, as if someone or something had torn through it. As they searched, they came across something even more unsettling: a hook that could be used to open other people's rooms. The discovery raised new questions. Was Aria running from a ghost, a person, or something else entirely? And if it was a person, why would they have access to something so dangerous inside the hotel itself? Nothing else was clarified, and the mystery only deepened. The last video in this chilling sequence came directly from the hotel's own security system.
Alright, y'all, so I went back and was looking at the video of that girl from the other day, right? Because I'm thinking maybe somebody must be following her, because I found that thing in the bathroom. Like, you know, it makes sense that somebody's probably following her, because not just any person is going to have that tool. I mean, that tool is for getting inside of rooms. So just keep watching the screen right here, man. I saw something that just, because I'm thinking somebody's following her.
Watch, let me fast forward. Watch this.
Watch. That's just the housekeeper down there.
See?
Right there. Right there.
I don't know what that was.
This is crazy. What? How do y'all explain that? Somebody explain that to me. And y'all think that's crazy? Watch. Keep watching. Keep watching, like right by that door, right there, by that table. Keep watching right over by there. Whole time I'm thinking somebody following her. So we trying to go over the film and just keep watching. Look. My hand is shaking. Right there.
What is that?
What the heck? Bro, that's a rock from that table right there. Those are stones, and those in bowls right there by that table. And that one of them stones just fell on the floor.
And there's no way that should happen because there's no wind in there.
Wind ain't even gonna do that though. This is crazy, yo.
I don't know.
Somebody explain this to me. Please somebody explain to me what the hell that just was.
As the guard reviewed the footage, he noticed something no one had pointed out before. Just moments after Aria bolted down the corridor screaming, a shadow streaked along the wall, right behind her. There was no person present, and nothing nearby that could have cast it, making it impossible to dismiss. The evidence only grew stronger when, later in the same footage, a rock sitting in a decorative bowl on a nearby table suddenly launched to the floor. With both events caught on camera, the conclusion seemed undeniable. Whatever Aria was fleeing from that night, a ghost was following her. Chris was spending a quiet evening at home when something immediately threw the vibe off. He was upstairs, just relaxing like normal, when he heard this sudden bang from downstairs, loud enough to jolt him out of his seat. Now, Chris isn't the type to jump to conclusions, but this sound wasn't like anything falling or shifting. It had weight behind it. Curiosity got the best of him, so he decided to grab his phone and check it out. As he headed down the stairs, he kept recording, just in case. That's when things took a very weird turn. On the wall in the hallway was this decorative Santa face, the kind you see hanging during the holidays. As Chris panned the camera, the Santa moved, not once but twice. It wasn't just swinging from a breeze or sliding down a nail. It tilted, paused, and shifted again. You can clearly see there's no one near it, and no windows are open. Chris was understandably shaken, and that Santa didn't stick around much longer. The day after, he burned it in the fireplace. I can't say I blame him. Festive or not, that thing had to go. Leandro had known for weeks that something in his house wasn't right, but he kept it to himself, because every time he even hinted at it, people looked at him like he was insane. He wasn't about to be labeled the psycho friend, so he stayed quiet. But the longer he waited, the worse it got, and eventually he decided enough was enough. He pulled out his phone and started recording, hoping to finally catch something on camera that could prove he wasn't just losing it.
Mais dia normal. Tem espírito preso na casa. Será que está tentando me dizer algo?
Tô vendo barulho aqui agora. De novo, gente, eu já tô cansado disso já.
Acredite se quiser.
Olha isso. Olha aqui. Olha isso, gente. Olha aqui na cozinha. Meu Deus do céu, o que é isso, velho? Olha isso. Que isso, cara? Olha isso aqui. O ventilador ligou sozinho. Olha isso. Ai, que isso? Estou com medo. O ventilador ligou, desligou. Olha isso.
In the footage, it all happens at once. His kitchen appliances started dropping all over the place. Then his standing fan moved on its own accord. And finally, a folded cloth on the counter just dropped without being touched. The room feels like it's under siege. and Leandro barely manages to hold the camera steady through it all. There's no one else there, no wires or strings, and no explanation that makes any sort of sense. It's the kind of clip you have to watch twice just to believe, and this was only the beginning, because a few days later, even more evidence was discovered. A few days after the chaos in the kitchen, Leandro decided to finally reach out to a ghost hunter. The issue was, the investigator wouldn't commit to a visit unless there was more footage to go on. So Leandro and his wife came up with a plan. They had both noticed something off about this old porcelain doll they kept in the living room. Every time they left it facing forward, it somehow ended up facing the wall. They decided to test it properly. With the camera rolling, Leandro's wife carefully turned the doll toward the lens, making sure it was clearly visible and properly positioned.
Eu comprei uma boneca de guardar sacola, mas ela não gosta que ninguém olhe para ela.
Não vou ficar aqui sozinho, não. Caralho, tá caindo tudo aqui.
Vou pegar aqui a vassoura pra eu virar.
Minha mãe foi pegar uma vassoura, dois corajosos.
Do nada aqui, sozinho em casa. E eu levei um susto, achei que eu que tava vendo coisa. A mãe foi lá pegar a vassoura pra mexer nele. Vira ela pra frente. Eu vou jogar esse troço fora, eu vou queimar. Cuidado, vira ela pra frente. Ui.
Tá na bichinha.
Ela vira de costa toda vez que arrumava ela pra frente.
Não, vira ela pra frente. Aí. Aí.
O que você põe nela?
Como assim?
Eu tô voando.
Sei lá. O trem começou a se mexer do nada. Olha lá.
Eu tô voando aqui.
Olha lá a mão dela. Ui. Joga fora.
Para, amiga, pelo amor de Deus.
Oi. Eita, pega.
As the seconds ticked by, it slowly but clearly shifted back around to face the wall again. No human interference, no obvious triggers, just a slow and chilling movement that looked almost deliberate. This was enough to get the ghost hunter's attention. He showed up that same weekend and spent hours combing through the house. According to him, there was definitely a presence in the home, something that had become attached to a particular object, likely the doll. After a short ritual and a cleansing, the disturbances began to fade, and for now, the house has gone quiet. Victor and his friend were spending the evening at Victor's place when something strange caught their attention. They were just hanging out in the living room, not really expecting anything out of the ordinary, when Victor noticed something odd. His rug kept ending up in a slightly different position every time he looked at it. It wasn't drastic, just enough to be unsettling. After a while, curiosity got the better of him and he decided to start recording, hoping he might catch whatever was going on in action.
Не добавился никуда, нет еще. Она такая красивая, да?
Я вспомнил после, что нашла.
Ну, она такая красивая, в жизни такая толстая. Ну вот, толстая.
Жесть.
Снял? Да? Охуенно. Вообще от всех напишу пиздец. Прям чувствую, сука, хочется. Бывает такое. Минус может пизда.
Sure enough, as the camera rolls, the rug slowly drags itself a few inches across the floor without a single foot touching it. There's no breeze, no pets, and no strings. It just moves. The room is silent, but the tension in the clip is heavy. After this, Victor's friend refused to sleep on the same floor and insisted on staying upstairs for the rest of the visit. Victor ends up contacting a local medium who believes the house has residual energy attached to something beneath the floorboards. Whether they dig it up or not, we'll have to wait and see. Lorita, a mother of 3, was home with her children when she suddenly noticed signs that someone had broken into the house. Panicked, she grabbed 2 of her kids and ran outside, only to realize moments later that their youngest was still inside. Without hesitation, Lorita rushed back in, but as she tried to find her 3rd child, things took a terrifying turn. It wasn't a man in the house after all, but something else.
Come over here.
Shit.
Oh, what happened?
Dude, run. There's a guy inside. Run, 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 run. Hey, where's your sister?
She's in her room sleeping.
She's inside?
Yeah.
Dude, look. There's a shadow right there.
What the heck?
Told you there's somebody in here. Amber, baby, come here. Amber. Dude.
No.
What's that?
The door just closed over there.
Amber. Baby, come here. Are you in here? Dude. I pulled the door back.
Oh my god.
What is that?
Oh,
Sounds like a front door. What do I do?
let's go to the front door, yes.
Dude, nobody's there. No one's at the front door.
Who rang the doorbell then?
It's knocking, but there's nobody there. Dude.
There's no one there.
Should I open it?
No.
Dude, the noise is coming back. It's getting louder and louder.
Oh my. Now it's the doorbell again?
What is going on here?
The front door kept ringing as if someone was aggressively spamming the doorbell, and no matter how hard Lorita tried, the door to her youngest child's room wouldn't open. It felt like an invisible force was blocking their way, keeping them trapped from reaching the child. The fear was overwhelming. Since that night, Lorita and her family have been desperately trying to find a new place to live, hoping to escape whatever spirit has made their home its own. They're planning to move as soon as they can, because no one should have to live with something so relentless and frightening inside their own walls. A ghost hunter was offered $500 to investigate a house suspected of being haunted, and he decided to take the job. For a long time, nothing unusual happened, and he started to question whether the whole thing was just a waste of time. He debated leaving more than once, but chose to stay and keep looking for answers. Suddenly, the door in one of the rooms began rattling violently, as if something was trying to get out or in. The hunter carefully searched behind the door, but found nothing at all. No hidden compartments, no tricks, just empty space. Despite the lack of physical evidence, the eerie rattling convinced him that there was definitely some kind of presence in the house. After spending a few more hours investigating and sensing the energy shift, he concluded that the place was haunted and recommended the owners consider a spiritual cleansing. They agreed and planned to bring in specialists to help rid the house of the restless spirit. Ian, a well-known ghost hunter who has appeared on this channel before, was exploring a notoriously haunted asylum all by himself. As he moved through the dim hallways, he suddenly noticed a broom leaning against the wall start to move on its own. Instinctively, he turned the camera to capture the strange activity.
Is there someone up here? Making noises? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm starting to think it could be a false alarm. Maybe not. That definitely sounded like it was in here. In here. And you know what? If you look out there. The wind has stopped. So that totally rules that out. Which is scary because those sounds were so loud. I nearly pissed myself. Luckily I wasn't recording. That would have been embarrassing. Oh God. Who's down there? You know, I can't help but think about that spirit box session that was on this floor. That right there. Or not that one. Right there. That's John Oliver's room. I'm just thinking about what he said. Because I have a bad feeling right now. Whoever's down there, come on out. Holy shit, holy shit, holy shit. Dude, something just ran across that hall. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Oh, come on, you just calm down. Oh, Jesus. I'm whimpering and screaming like a little freaking baby.
The broom slowly slides across the floor, and shortly after, a chilling voice clearly warns him to get out now. The atmosphere instantly thickens with tension, but despite the warning, Ian decides to stay a little longer, determined to uncover more evidence. What happens next is even more intense, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next video where this story continues. Desmond had been babysitting his little brother one evening when things took a terrifying turn. The toddler had suddenly started crying, not in the usual fussy way, but with a sharp fear in his voice. Desmond noticed the boy wasn't just upset, he was staring directly at the closet across the room, fixated, as if something inside had caught his attention. Wanting to calm him down and prove there was nothing to be afraid of, Desmond picked up his phone and began recording. He walked over to the closet and showed that it was completely empty, but just as he stepped back, the door suddenly slammed shut with force, startling both him and his brother. The moment left Desmond rattled, not just because of the slam, but because of how fixated his younger brother had been before it happened. He later admitted that he wasn't sure if the toddler had seen something he couldn't, but the timing felt far too precise to be coincidence. Since then, Desmond has been keeping a much closer eye on his brother and the closet, convinced that something in the house might be trying to make itself known. Conan Andrew was trying to get some rest late one night, but something in his room made sleep impossible. Like many people, he had always found Furbies a little unsettling. their blinking eyes and robotic voices never quite sitting right. Still, months ago he picked up a broken one from a thrift store, thinking of it more as a funny novelty than anything serious. For the longest time, it sat lifeless on a shelf, a harmless decoration. But that changed when Conan heard faint noises and noticed movement where there shouldn't have been any. The supposedly broken Furby began twitching and shifting on its own, the tiny motorized parts that hadn't worked in years suddenly sparking to life. For Conan, the experience was horrifying. The toy already carried an eerie reputation, and to see it come back to life in the middle of the night with no power source was beyond explanation. He admitted that he couldn't shake the feeling that he had brought something into his home the day he bought it, something attached to the Furby itself. That night left him rattled, convinced that this was no ordinary malfunction, but something far more sinister. Dakota had grown increasingly worried about her children after weeks of terrible night terrors that would wake them screaming in the middle of the night. It wasn't just the bad dreams that unsettled her, but it was the strange little details. Her daughter would sometimes look up toward the ceiling, smile, and say hi to what would have been nearly 7 feet above her, as if something tall was standing there. That alone was enough to make Dakota suspicious that something paranormal might be involved. But she never had proof. Wanting to put her mind at ease, she decided to record one night in hopes of catching anything unusual.
And I have like a post on Facebook and I'm like, hey guys, does anyone know like why this would happen? And a lot of people came up with these answers like, oh, it's the radio waves. And some people are saying it's designed, like those toys are designed to draw the attention of the kid. So I just let it go. I thought that maybe it was just designed to do that. Or maybe it was the radio waves. I just didn't pay much.
While filming the crib, a toy suddenly activated on its own, playing music and lighting up even though nobody was near it. Dakota nervously laughed it off afterwards, dismissing it as the toy simply trying to get attention the way children's toys are designed to. Still, deep down, she couldn't shake the fear that it was something more. The toy's sudden activation, paired with her children's ongoing terrors and strange behavior, left her uneasy. She later admitted that although she brushed it off for the camera, she felt that this could be the beginning of something much bigger happening in her home. After that first unsettling night, things only escalated. For 6 nights in a row, the toys in her children's room kept going off on their own, almost as if something was deliberately playing with them. It became routine for Dakota to be jolted awake by the sudden noises, her nerves wearing thinner each time. Finally, on the 6th night, she managed to catch it on camera.
Caught on camera was a piano, and on this piano, you have to touch multiple spots. You can't just touch one spot and the rest goes off. You have to touch multiple spots. And this piano was like, like just going off. So that freaked me out.
A toy in her child's play crib was making loud, repetitive beeping sounds, and when Dakota went to investigate, she found nothing that could have triggered it. No motion, no child near it, and no obvious malfunction. It was just going off entirely on its own. The aftermath left her deeply shaken. She admitted that it was one thing for a toy to light up once, but to have multiple toys act up over nearly a week felt impossible to ignore. If this video gets 200 likes, I will continue Dakota's story in the next video. Early one morning, a man was startled awake by strange noises echoing from downstairs. At first, he tried to brush it off, but when the sounds grew louder, he decided to grab his camera and investigate. As he entered the living room, something soft fell from the sofa, which he figured could have just slipped, so there was nothing too alarming. But moments later, a can sitting firmly on a desk suddenly toppled off on its own, and this time there was no clear explanation. Just as he was trying to make sense of it, the situation escalated as a nearby table tipped and crashed to the floor with force. That was enough to send him running back upstairs in panic. Later, he admitted that while the first fall didn't scare him, the chain of events that followed convinced him there was no way this was a coincidence. Now he says he's looking into hiring a ghost hunter to help uncover exactly what is happening in his home. A client had long suspected their home was haunted, so they turned to someone they trusted most, a relative who also happened to be a ghost hunter. Because of the family connection, the ghost hunter agreed to do the job for free, hoping to give their loved ones some peace of mind. On the night of the session, they set up in the living room with a candle flickering nearby and a Ouija board laid out between them.
All right. You ready for this? Have you ever done one before? It's not too hard.
I don't like messing with them because I know what they can do.
Well, a lot of times they're bad spellers. It takes them a minute or so to spell out what they're spelling. And you have to just touch your fingers to it easy. Not enough where you're going to unintentionally move it or whatever. Okay, just barely. You just barely want to make contact. And let it control it. You just follow it with your hands more or less, okay?
And we're doing this because what?
Because we're going to try to find out what's in this house. I don't know how else to try to contact it. We've got to find out what it wants.
All right.
I'm going to see if I can get it to leave us alone.
Let's go. We gotta get through. Get this over.
Alright, you ready?
Yeah.
Whatever entity, spirit, demon, whatever you are, that's in my family's home, that's plaguing us and giving us hell, please identify yourself or tell us what you want, what it'll take to leave me and my family and our home alone and never return. We're tired of this. Just tell us what you want.
Did it just spell what I think it spelled?
What the heck? Stop what? What do you mean blood? What the hell do you want? Come on now.
Oh my God, Tommy!
Son of Oh my God! Man, that's
You need to get the damn thing out of the house!
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Before starting, the ghost hunter carefully explained how the board worked, the rules to follow, and the need to show respect for whatever spirit might come through. The air grew tense as they placed their hands on the planchette and asked the first question, "What do you want?" For a while, nothing happened, but then slowly, the planchette began to move. Letter by letter, it spelled out one chilling word, blood. The two exchanged uneasy glances, and the woman was in tears, unsure if they should continue. Suddenly, the board itself jolted violently and was launched across the table at the ghost hunter. Both of them jumped back in fear, the client visibly shaking as the clip cut off. What began as an attempt to seek answers had turned into a frightening confrontation, and this moment proved to them that something dark was definitely present in the home. The story doesn't end here though, and it's clear more answers, or more terror, could be waiting. The very next day, more family members gathered at the house, 4 people in total, hoping to get some clarity after the terrifying Ouija board session. The ghost hunter, still shaken but determined, suggested another ritual, this time with candles placed carefully around the table to amplify whatever energy lingered in the room.
Light the candles. Listen. Oh shit, it ain't wanting us to do this, Jerry. Jacob tried to tell us it don't want us to do this.
Let's just do lights forward. Hit.
Turn the light out. Leave that light on right there. In case something does happen, we have to get up. Look, what? Look. What the? Tommy, let's do this right quick. Come on. Oh. Leslie, I'm sorry, babe. Come on. We gotta hold hands. Don't let go of each other's hands no matter what we do. You've got to stay in the circle and hold hands. Don't let go.
I'm not part of this circle, man.
If you let go of each other's hands, it's got control of it. Hold on, man. God. Look at that. It's a friggin' water off it over here. Put the Bible in the middle of the hands. Come on. If they set them in the house, give us a sign, show us who you are. If you're evil, sorry, baby. If you're evil.
Oh shit!
Fuck, dude.
Son of a bitch, Jerry. Hey, God damn.
Oh, damn.
Hey, that's enough. That's solid enough, man. That's solid enough. Okay. Let's get it. Let's quit. Turn this light on. Hey, Leslie, I'm sorry. What is that? I don't know.
As the candles flickered, the tension was thick enough to feel in the air. Suddenly, the kitchen tap turned itself on full force, startling everyone present. Trying to stay focused, the group sat at the table, holding hands and asking directly for signs that the spirit was evil. The man behind the camera was too frightened to join, keeping his distance as he filmed. That's when things spiraled. Behind them, the bed in the room began jolting violently up and down, rattling against the floorboards, as if being shaken by an unseen force. Moments later, drops of blood-like liquid started dripping from the ceiling above, sending the group into panic. One woman broke down into tears, pleading for it to stop as the others quickly backed away from the table. The clip ends there, but the raw fear on their faces made it clear this was only the beginning. Subscribe so you don't miss part 2 of this chilling encounter. Jesus Gamboa was on his usual night shift as a security guard, the kind of long, quiet hours where even the smallest sound can put you on edge. He had grown used to the stillness, monitoring the CCTV screens to pass the time, but on this night, something caught his eye. A strange shape flickered across one of the cameras, enough to make him second-guess himself. Wanting to be sure, he grabbed his flashlight and stepped outside to investigate.
¿Y por qué no te gusta trabajar de noche?
A la verga. As he approached a parked lorry, it revealed something terrifying, a human-like face peering out from behind the front of the vehicle. At first glance, it looked almost real, but the unnatural stillness and distorted features made it clear this was no ordinary person. What unsettled him even more was what came after. When he rushed back inside to review the CCTV, the figure wasn't there. The footage showed nothing unusual at all, leaving only the clip on his phone as proof. For Jesus, this was confirmation that whatever he encountered wasn't human, and it left him dreading the rest of his shift. A guy was casually recording a Snapchat video to send to his friend Julie, jokingly asking her how she expected to make money if she didn't like to work. It was nothing more than a playful moment, the kind of everyday clip people send back and forth without much thought. But what happened in the background quickly turned it into something entirely different.
I literally hate you. How the f do you expect to make money, Julie, if you don't like to work? Julie, my door just opened. What? No, stop. What the f? What the f? It's not even that late. Kevin's not home from work yet. What? Oh my god. What the? No. Oh! No. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. What the f? Julie. You're fine. Oh! No. 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 What the f?
Mid-sentence, the door outside his room began rattling violently, like someone was trying to get in. Confused, he walked out to check, only for another door down the hall to suddenly slam shut with force. He knew it wasn't his boyfriend because he wasn't even home, so there was no explanation. Things only got worse. Back in his room, the closet door opened and closed by itself, as if mocking him. Trying to keep calm, he stepped back out again, but this time he found every single door in the hallway wide open, an image that sent chills through him. Just when it seemed like it couldn't escalate any further, a chair slid across the entire room on its own, sealing the moment as one of the scariest clips he'd ever captured. What began as a simple Snapchat to a friend turned into undeniable proof that something in his house wasn't right. It just shows that spirits can do anything at any time, and you have to always be alert. In the following video, a mother was sitting with her 2 children when something out of the ordinary happened. Whilst one kid was playing Roblox, the other was pestering her to bits, and she ended up playing with that child to keep them happy. It was then that she claimed a weird feeling swept the room. She felt cold, and almost as if something evil had entered the vicinity. Little did she know that it had.
Look at my mirror. My mirror's cracking by itself.
What's happening? Wait, stop.
Harry, my mirror is cracking by itself.
It's cracked by so far. Why is it cracking by itself?
I have no f***ing idea.
There's 2 bees.
Yeah, it's really fucking.
Just carry on with it. Right. It's a bee.
Stay there, don't go near it.
This way. I know. I know. There's a naughty mirror. Wait.
No.
Why is the mirror cracking?
I don't know.
I know. Maybe the naughty spirit.
Out of the blue, the mirror cracked on its own accord, and it was obvious that nothing natural caused this to happen. There was absolutely no human contact with the mirror, and furthermore, it didn't collide with anything, let alone with the force to generate such a crack. With all of these facts compiled, it is safe to say that something exterior caused this to happen, with the leading conclusion being a ghost. GhostTube is an app that allows its users to detect ghosts around their household, and one special day when Chris became bored, he decided to give it a shot. He always had a feeling that ghosts were real and was definitely the type of person to buy into an app like this. It turns out that it was the right decision this time though. For roughly 5 minutes, he was messing around with the app, but just as he was starting to get fed up with it and uninstall it alongside all the other ghost apps, this happened.
And just to be clear, there's no error, there's nothing on right now. Can you move the other one? Hold up.
Part of his drum played without him being anywhere near it, so Chris decided to go and inspect the kit. It was here that he discovered a handprint that looked as if it belonged to a child, but as he mentioned, he had no kids, and he definitely didn't have any fosters. This begs the question, what caused the drum to play? Well, at the start of the video, there were not any handprints on the kit, so it is evident that the feature was added mid-tape. I'll let you decide what caused this in the comments, but I'm sure we all have the same answer. Now that you've had a guess, I would like to reveal that we actually know the answer to that question now. A few days after this incident, Chris posted another clip to his TikTok page in the exact same property, and it was just as weird. He was hearing tapping noises from one of the bedrooms, so decided to go in and see what was up, and it was pretty crazy. Take a look. Somehow, the door closed by itself at the end, and it was not in a natural manner whatsoever. Upon many attempts at zooming in to expose any tricks that Chris might have used to fake this, nothing was found, which means this clip has to be authentic. Matching it with the fact the drum kit moved too, makes it obvious that this place is haunted, and I advise him to seek help as soon as he possibly can. Ricardo had been believing his house was haunted for a very long period of time, but the only problem was that none of his parents would ever believe him, and he was aware of this. Instead of making them aware of his concerns, Ricardo decided to let the things he saw go unnoticed, no matter how unhinged or out of the blue they were. One day, though, he got a sudden burst of motivation to get help on defeating the poltergeist, so decided to start recording and see what interesting clips he could find. This was one of them. Strangely, lots of things were happening inside of Ricardo's room, and his parents would be beyond imbeciles to watch this clip and believe anything other than a spirit being present. Ricardo used this logic and presented the evidence to them, and they agreed that they would offer him help if he managed to obtain 2 more pieces of evidence. Motivated as ever, Ricardo kept recording in critical moments, and it wasn't long whatsoever until he caught his second clip. This time round, a piece of art on the wall was moving, and Ricardo showed his parents again. This time they were much more concerned due to the item moving being one of their possessions, but without the third piece of evidence they were not going to give their son the benefit of the doubt. Ricardo was not a quitter though, and despite taking a whole fortnight to capture his last piece of evidence, he didn't give up throughout this time period, and it really paid off. Have a watch. Not only did the cabinet actually open itself, but it threw an item out which made it unexplainably abnormal. Ricardo's parents watched this one and finally took a turning point in regards to their attitudes on ghosts. They are in talks with ghost hunters currently, and I wish them the best in securing one at a reasonable price tag. On May the 29th of 2016, Angel and Willie were both in the kitchen when something absurd happened. Roughly 5 minutes before the incident, the two of them were in their rooms having the time of their lives without any clue what was going to happen to them in such a short period of time. Out of nowhere, their father shouted for them both to come downstairs and told them to start making dinner because they wanted to, and it was time. Just as they got started, Willie needed the toilet, and when they came back, Angel was in a much different state of mind.
What the?
What are you doing in here?
Watch that drawer. What the heck is that?
Wait, what? You're joking. Are you doing that?
How am I doing that? I'm recording.
Liar.
Really? Oh my gosh. Okay, let's go.
As odd as this was, the drawer started opening and closing without any visible force being applied to it, and Angel refused to believe her own eyes. It was because of this that she pulled out her phone and started to film the incident, because the trust in her phone camera far exceeded that of any other visionary source. When the duo went to make their parents aware, they were told to speak to a priest, not them, and listened. Hopefully the person of which they eventually get aid from is of help. This next clip is so insane that experts needed files of evidence to prove that it was a spirit causing it rather than a literal earthquake. The time was 11 o'clock at night, and Vadim was in his room getting ready to rest for the night. It had been a long day for him, and all he wanted was some peace and quiet that coincided with the comfort of his bed. Little did he know that his wishes were not on the agenda of a poltergeist. A note to take before this is that Vadim has never experienced anything of this sort before, so even his reaction is on the abnormal side.
Октября, 2 часа ночи. Вот такое веселье у нас почти каждую ночь. Удовольствие. О, тихо, ша.
See what I mean by evidence was needed to prove it wasn't an earthquake. I was very surprised when I found out that the place wasn't on the seismic meter. Vadim contacted his landlord shortly after this incident, in hopes that he would be allowed to move to a new place of rent in due course. But with the contract being 6 months, he would need to pay a fee. The sad thing is that Vadim does not have the funds to pay for something like this, so still has to live there for another 2 months. Not even my luck will be able to help him. The following video was recorded by a business owner who specialized in 24/7 security cameras. This meant that the business watched homes every single hour of the day to make sure that nothing was going on, and they had a lot of clients. People buy stuff like this when they believe their house is at high threat, and anything could happen. So working with this business means maximum security at all costs. It may easily be able to help against robbers and general criminals though, but security does nothing to stop a ghost from haunting your dreams. Have a watch.
Every night I'm at work, I be thinking I'm tripping. But you gotta watch this video, y'all. You see that move under the bed? Like I know for a fact it's close to my client's house. I be seeing, you see it keep moving like right there under the bed? It's moving back and forth. You see it? It's ghost in my client's house. Look under her bed. It'll come out and go back. Now she in bed asleep. She ain't moved an ounce. But do you see how it keep coming out, going back in? This is no joke. My client truly has ghosts in her house. You see it? She don't have a dog, she don't have a cat, but it's always something moving in her room on camera at night. Sometime it'll fly directly across the camera. Be creeping me the heck out, like no doubt. I'm gonna just be still so y'all can see. You see it moving in there again? Look at that. It's moving up by the bed now on the frame. And then you'll see it move again. You see that? I think I'm tripping. Maybe I want to. It's real live ghost in here in her house. And no matter how I turn the camera, that ghost is in that room and it ain't going nowhere.
As you can clearly see, a poltergeist was slipping in and out from under the bed. It was very creepy, and the owner asked the person sleeping for consent to post this, and fortunately, got it, meaning we were able to show you it today. The sleeper claims that it would just have been dust or something, but I think it was something much worse. Meet Ian, also known as the Midwest Ghost Hunter and the most successful YouTube ghost hunter in the entire world. Ian visits all sorts of haunted places for long explorations and gets paid a lot of money to do so, with the following clip being from his visit to an abandoned asylum that was known for hosting many deaths. This place packed tons of thrills that even Ian became frightened of, but he prevailed and compiled a 2-hour video for his fans. On this channel, I've been showing a brief clip from every video, and that does not stop on this one. Enjoy.
Ida, that was you. Could you speak again? It was hard to make out what you were saying. Ida, why do you still linger here? You know you're free to go, right? I heard that you hung yourself from this broom above me. Why did you do it? Whoa. I keep hearing like her voice, but it's hard to make out any words. Whoa. That sounded a little more intelligible, but still I can't make out what the words are. Ida, what was going through your mind when you took your own life? What drove you to do such a thing? Trapped here. You felt trapped here? I am so sorry. You know you don't have to stay here anymore, Ida. This place is completely shut down now. You're free to go. Ida, what's up? Whoa. Oh my god. Whoa. Dude. She is screaming. She is screaming through this device. Oh my god, that is terrifying. Why are you screaming, Ida? What's wrong? I have never heard a woman scream through this device before. That is absolutely terrifying. Ida, what is wrong? I want to help you.
The spirit claimed that it was trapped there, and after Ian gave it his full permission to leave the vicinity, it screamed. Any sort of scream is enough to terrify someone, but when it comes from a spirit, the fear factor is bound to be multiplied by 100. I just hope that Ian is now okay. Like and subscribe for more clips from Ian. Sandra had returned to the house where her late mother once lived, a place now owned by her grandmother, who often claimed the spirit of her daughter still lingered in its walls. It was already an emotional visit, but what happened that day left her shaken. She walked into the bedroom her mom used to sleep in, taking in the familiar atmosphere when something startling occurred.
Things that keep happening in my house since my mom passed away. Like, why? I looked underneath the drawer, I looked behind it, there's nothing making it pop out. It seems like it's when I bring up my mom that something happens. Mom? Your cat's fucking weird.
The bottom shelf of a cabinet creaked open entirely on its own, causing Sandra to freeze. Summoning her courage, she gently pushed it closed and asked the word, "Mom," almost as if hoping for a response. Moments later, the shelf opened once again by itself, making it feel like her mother had truly answered. After her first video gained traction, one particular comment stood out. A viewer suggested she check inside the bottom shelf, wondering if maybe it wasn't just a coincidence, but a deliberate sign. Taking their advice, Sandra decided to record again.
Okay, let's do it. I don't know what could be in this drawer. I have my bathing suits and stuff. Halloween shorts that I need to put to my Halloween stuff. Lingerie. Brown case. My Magnificent Fizz. My bells are just like, I don't know, clear room or something, I don't know. A lot of ducks for my cruise. I went on a cruise last year and I left over ones. Dog's bandana. Bra. What's this? Something my daughter got me. So I do think that this is it. If it is anything, but I'm kind of feeling like this is. I found this note that I'm going to post on top of here from my mom. And then I listen to what this plays.
In the video, she carefully began removing the items from the shelf one by one, showing there were no tricks involved. At the very back, she uncovered a small, dust-covered music box that she instantly recognized as her mother's. With trembling hands, she wound the handle, and to her shock, it began playing the exact melody her mom had written down in a note years earlier. It was a song tied so closely to her mother's memory that it couldn't have been random. Sandra sat there in tears, overwhelmed by the moment, convinced she had just received a direct message from beyond. The discovery only deepened her belief that her mother truly was still watching over her. Miguel had been working as a cleaner for a while, and to him, it was nothing more than a job he couldn't wait to leave behind. The long hours, the late-night shifts, and the way people treated the place without care made it miserable for him. He often said the silence of the building at night was the worst part, since it left him alone with nothing but his thoughts, But one night, that silence was broken by something he could never have expected. He heard the sound of running water echoing from the bathroom, even though nobody else was supposed to be there. Confused and a little unsettled, he went to check it out.
Bueno, voy para adentro. La sangre de Cristo me cura. Hola, hola. Hola. Hola, hola. ¿Estás acá? ¿Dónde estás? Se prenden las luces. ¿Estás jugando con la llave? ¿Ah? ¿Estás jugando con la llave? ¿Ah? Necesito otra prueba. Necesito otra prueba. ¡Ay, marica!
As he entered, the taps began turning on and off by themselves, the hand dryer blasting air without anyone near it, all repeating several times as if mocking his presence. He stood frozen, not sure if he should stay or run, until suddenly the door to one of the stalls slammed shut with incredible force. That was enough for Miguel. He bolted from the bathroom, shaken to his core, convinced his already miserable job had just revealed a far darker side. Pete had been frustrated for weeks, noticing the door to his storage room would creak open at random intervals, but always seemed to stop the moment he tried to film it. It became almost like a routine. He'd hear the sound, grab his phone, run over, and by the time he hit record, the door was already closed again, leaving him with nothing to show. He joked that the spirit must have been camera shy, playing games with him on purpose, but eventually, his persistence paid off.
And like, I can't catch the door opening on camera, because every time I pull it out, it don't. Every time I pull my phone out, the door don't open. Oh my God. Oh my God. What was that? What was that? Bro, what the f was that?
This time, the door slowly opened on its own while the camera was rolling, and for just a moment, a shadow could be seen shifting in the darkness behind it. Pete's heart pounded as he rushed forward to check, but when he swung the door wide open, there was nothing there at all. The clip left him shaken and only further convinced that something was truly inhabiting his home. The very next day, Pete thought he could finally put the strange storage room incident behind him, but things only got weirder. His neighbors were out of town, leaving their apartment completely empty. Yet something about it caught his attention from his own window. He decided to grab his phone and start filming.
What the freak is my neighbor doing, bro? I'm right there with that light. That's my neighbors, bro. Oh, hell no, bro. Hell, see, bro, I'm telling you, it's followed me to my house. On my mama, it followed me to my house. She's not here. There is no car in the driveway. This is I'm literally in the next apartment. Like, I just got home from work, and this is what I see, bro. Yeah, haunted. This shit's haunted. This followed me to my crib. Hell no. She's not here.
Yeah, no. Been doing it all day.
Yeah, I'm telling you, bro.
It's in her kitchen.
Yeah, it's the kitchen. Yeah. And people, bro, I'm telling you, bro, this thing has followed me to my house. I'm literally, I'm right there.
Yeah,
Look, my neighbor's not here. That's my neighbor's driveway. That's mine. This is her apartment, bro. Like, I'm not folding, bro. I'm not. My father said he's been doing it all day today. And like, this is the stuff I'm talking about. Cabinet's open. This cabinet is always open. Every time I come out here to let the dogs out, it does this, bro. See? Nobody's in there. Nobody's in there. This light right here. It's no shortage because it would have messed our apartment up too. Nobody's in there, bro. I know I'm like just looking at my neighbor's thing, but bro, that's like, I'm telling you, that's trippy. Like, nothing has happened at work all day today, and then all of a sudden this stuff starts to happen? Nah, heck no, because I live right there. Literally, it's just a wall, and I heard, nope.
Through the camera, the lights inside their apartment could be seen flicking on and off in a perfect, almost mechanical rhythm. No randomness, no glitches, just an eerie, deliberate pattern. Pete's voice in the background explained that this wasn't an outage because if it were, his own lights would be flickering too. He stood there baffled, realizing this wasn't something that could be easily dismissed. To him, it was like whatever presence had been toying with him had now crossed over to a new stage, reaching beyond his own home. A few days passed, and things seemed to settle down for Pete, at least until one unsettling night. He was home alone, fast asleep, when he suddenly woke up to strange noises echoing throughout the house. Not knowing what to make of it, he grabbed his phone and got out of bed to investigate.
So I'm home alone, and I'm pretty sure I'm hearing noises, things in that back room. Hello? Please tell me you guys heard that. I'm home alone too. Man, I'm not trying to do this. I don't want to go. I don't want to do this. I don't want to go in here. Oh my. Bro. Why is that? Who's here? Hello? Nope.
The noises seemed to surround him, bouncing from room to room, leaving him confused and on edge as he wandered through the house. Then, without warning, a door in another room slammed shut with a force that made him jump. The suddenness of it all left Pete visibly shaken, his breathing quick and unsteady as he whispered to the camera, clearly terrified that the haunting presence had only grown stronger. That same night, after Pete finally forced himself back into bed, the noises started all over again. This time he couldn't ignore them. He grabbed his phone once more and made his way downstairs, walking carefully through the dark, still questioning what exactly was happening in his home.
Where are you? So I'm here at the apartment again. There's no one here and I'm hearing things once again. Hello? What do you want? Where are you? Whoa. Whoa, I heard that. What's your name? What do you want?
In the video, he can be heard asking aloud what its name is, and almost immediately, the LEDs in the room begin flashing on and off, not randomly, but in a repeated sequence, almost like Morse code. Pete stood there frozen, whispering in disbelief before ending the recording. He later uploaded it, asking viewers to help him figure out whether the lights were actually trying to spell out a name, and encouraged anyone who could translate to leave their thoughts in the comments. Ian, better known online as the Midwest Ghost Hunter, has spent years traveling across his region, diving into abandoned buildings, historic landmarks, and long-rumored haunted places. His passion for the paranormal has led him into countless chilling encounters, and he documents them all for his channel. This time, he set out to investigate an old haunted theater completely on his own, armed only with his camera and a willingness to chase whatever might be inside.
Back here. Okay, I think I'm going crazy here. I just heard a woman talking. What the f***? Ma'am? I hear you, but I don't see you. I just want to come say hi. Hello? Oh my god. No way. That sounded like singing. I literally heard that with my own ears. That was in here. Look, there's nobody.
While exploring the backstage area, after hearing an unusual noise, Ian slowly walked the narrow halls, scanning every corner for movement. That's when a disembodied voice echoed faintly, startling him, but pushing him to continue deeper. A few moments later, soft singing began drifting through the space, eerie and completely out of place in the dead silence of the theater. Ian stood frozen, listening carefully, knowing the building was supposed to be empty. The clip ends there, leaving the mystery unresolved. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next video, where Ian returns to uncover what could be behind the voice and the singing. The basement is the most probable place in anybody's house to succumb to being haunted, so the least thing you would expect is for someone to run there when trying to avoid it. The following video had our victim so desperate for safety, though, that it happened. The time was just 7:30 in the evening, and the man was doing everything you would want to in life, sitting down and planning a lovely holiday to Europe. However, little did he know that this would happen, and he was fortunate enough to be filming the door.
Jeszcze nie teraz, jak w sobotę. Kurwa mać. No nie będę połączyć, żeby tu wrócić. Chuj. Kurwa.
First of all, he was filming the door because something happened earlier, and immediately after a knock happened on the door, he jumped to action. Straight away, everything in the house became a bubble of the paranormal, and it was way too frightening. So he ran to the basement where the door slammed behind him. The ghost didn't let him out for a solid hour before the door finally gave way, and he was allowed to run from the home. You best believe that place went straight onto the housing market. Danny was doing some important things around the house when suddenly a series of knocking noises started to occur in the bathroom. Out of natural human curiosity, he decided to go and investigate. But little did he know, this was going to be the worst decision of his life. What he initially believed would be a rodent infestation, or something along those lines, quickly appeared to be something far more evil. I think if he got the choice, he would have picked the rodent any day. When he entered the room, the knocking continued, and as suspected, it was coming from the walls. Danny was going to go back to the living room and call the rodent exterminators that he already had on speed dial. But just as he was about to leave, a demonic-looking creature peeked around the curtains. Out of pure shock, Danny ended the video instantly and sprinted his way out of the house before opening his CCTV app. Nothing was in the house. Horror Shaolong is a YouTube channel for the people out there who find spirits really interesting but would never put themselves in the face of one. This channel does that for its fans and showcases just how evil and twisted these beings can be. In the specific video of which I am about to show you, they were exploring a house that an entire family was slaughtered in, and it's no surprise that nobody had moved in since. Here is what happened.
这里边出来一个那啥呢，一个大人头，咱俩怎么办？
消失了，那不咋的。
以咱们的脾气肯定消失。
对，你肯定消失。故意消。
哎呦我操！我操！哎呦我操！我哎呦！我操你妈！
To deny that this place has some form of haunted entity would be utterly ignorant, as it is almost certain something else was in there. Whether it was the brutally murdered family or another ghost though, that's a whole different question. Earlier on in the day, Egi was forced to evacuate his place of residence after a ghost started to play the piano. This was very creepy, and the strangest part was that it continued even after he unplugged it. Out of fear and confusion, he left the house and cycled all the way to his friends hoping they would let him in. He only forgot one key thing. They were on vacation. This meant he had to go all the way back home, and he was praying it'd stop. Did it? You'll have to have a look.
Tawa aku bangsat. Baru aja sampai. Nih, masih pakai helm kan? Baru sampai. Udah disambut. Sedap. Anjing. Stop. Yang hidupinnya ya. Ketawa lah aku bangsat. Gimana ngidupinnya woi? Oh di sini. Nah. Oh udah itu deh. Lihat kan? Baru pun sampai kan bangsat kan. Saya lagi malas buat konten. Ini pun sedikit aja kan karena tadi baru sampai tiba-tiba hujan. Udah dengar suara-suara aneh gini. Jadi next saya nggak akan konten-konten lagi. Saya cuman fokus mau main piano. Saya mau ngulik-ngulik lagu. Jadi saya mau fokus. Apapun gangguannya terserah. Intinya saya mau main aja. Biarin aja digangguin.
The house was clearly in no better state, and if anything, it had become far worse. The specific part that frightened Eggy the most was that the spirit seemed to be speaking to him, and the words could be made out quite easily. One of them was a religious phrase, which he didn't really know what to think of. Was this a poltergeist sent by his religion as a sign, or was it something evil speaking against his god? The truth is, he would never find out the answer to this question, and the next morning, nothing else happened. It must have been a sign. He just doesn't know what for. In what was meant to be a video showing off the new pool table his parents bought him, Josh discovered something terrible about his basement. Recently, his parents bought him a brand new pool table for his birthday, and they allowed him to invite 7 friends over for an 8-man pool tournament. On paper, the idea seemed incredible, but it wasn't long before he discovered an incredible flaw.
I'm getting ready to play some pool with my friends. And gonna have a tournament, see who's the all-time champ, cause my friends think they're gonna beat me. That was weird. My pool table right here. Delicious. Okay, must have tripped over that, but I don't know how. Okay. That was weird. Oh my god. Oh my god. That freak. Something just threw that glove at me. There's nothing over there. Whatever. I'm freaked out right now. I'm just gonna grab a pool stick.
From the moment Josh opened the basement door to the last second of the video, the evidence that this place was abnormal kept coming thick and fast. It was almost as if the spirit was on a sugar rush, with the amount of chaos it was trying to cause out of seemingly nowhere. First of all, some sort of ball rolled down the stairs, and when he followed it, the chairs took action, moving on their own accord. Afterwards, Josh showed his parents the video, and they laughed as if it was some joke, and didn't believe him. Was this bad parenting? Have your say in the comments down below. It is a well-known thing that pets such as dogs and cats can see spirits, and while many choose not to believe this, there are still a lot of people who do. The logic behind it is that they can see certain light patterns that the human eye physically can't pick up, and poltergeists are seemingly made of these light patterns. Due to this, when your little friend starts to get upset or stressed over nothing, maybe you should consider the possibility that it isn't nothing after all. That was the case for the person who filmed our next clip.
Está en ruinas el estado de este templo. Bueno, pues ya está muy deteriorado. Se ve que aquí la gente viene a buscar tesoros. ¿Ya vieron esa esquina? Como un rostro con un par de cuernos. Sí. ¿Sí se ve, no? Sí. Está completamente destrozado. Completamente destruido. ¿Qué dice ahí? Todos vamos directo hasta arriba.
The woman behind the camera was put on edge by this behavior, and to say it was scary would be an unjustly understatement. Her pet was staring at what looked like nothing to the human eye, but deep down she knew something was there, and there was actually visual proof. If you paid enough attention, a shadow figure could be seen, and it was a very faint one. I think it was certainly a ghost, and the dogs were definitely onto something, but I'm interested in your thoughts too. It is a well-known thing that pets such as dogs and cats can see spirits, and while many choose not to believe this, there are still a lot of people who do. The logic behind it is that they can see certain light patterns that the human eye physically can't pick up, and poltergeists are seemingly made of these light patterns. Due to this, when your little friend starts to get upset or stressed over nothing, maybe you should consider the possibility that it isn't nothing after all. That was the case for the person who filmed our next clip. The woman behind the camera was put on edge by this behavior, and to say it was scary would be an unjustly understatement. Her pet was staring at what looked like nothing to the human eye, but deep down she knew something was there, and there was actually visual proof. If you paid enough attention, a shadow figure could be seen, and it was a very faint one. I think it was certainly a ghost, and the dogs were definitely onto something, but I'm interested in your thoughts too. Over the last few days, Marty has been hearing a series of bangs from upstairs, and he is well aware that they are not ordinary. One random day, though, he decided that he had enough and wanted to go and check out the noises to see if there actually was a source, and he brought a camera just to have some evidence behind him. This is what was found.
Right, I'm going to record it, because I've had a couple of bangs now. The last one was quite violent, and it came from upstairs, and it sounded like a door being shut, and I don't believe me when I'm here. Oh, bathroom light's on. Oh, and our door is shut, look. So, yeah. Huh. What's that doing on and why? Alright. Oscar? Oscar? Are you in here? Is that you? Oscar? Whoa! Whoa, 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 whoa. Man, whoa! You? What the f? Oscar? Whoa. Hello? Oh, this is horrible. There's nothing in here. You can't get anything in here anyway, as you know. There's so much crap in there. This is just shit.
From a self-rolling ball to doors opening on their own accord, it was obvious that something was interacting with the room, leaving just one question. What was interacting with the room? There is no shot on Earth. It wasn't some sort of spirit. But what really matters is where it lies on the scale from evil to non-evil. Nobody wants an evil spirit. Ever since he was young, Marcus had been fascinated with the underground. He loved the stillness, the echoes, and the sense of mystery that came with exploring places most people would never see. Over the years, he had taken up caving as a hobby, often bringing his loyal dog along for company. On this particular day, he decided to explore a cave system he hadn't visited before, curious to see what secrets it might hold. With only his headlamp and his dog's eager excitement to guide the way, they ventured deep inside.
Out. Come here. Come on. Come on. Go. Misty. What do you think about this, Misty? Keep looking. Stay behind me. What the fuck is that? Oh shit. Go. Come on, Misty. Come on, Misty.
The footage shows them carefully making their way through narrow passages until they eventually reach a dead end, where dozens of bats hang above, prompting Marcus to turn around. After walking back for only a short time, the beam of his light catches something ahead, a tall, human-like figure standing in the darkness. It was far too unnatural in movement and presence to be anything ordinary. Without a second thought, Marcus grabs his dog and bolts for the exit, the sound of his hurried footsteps echoing through the cave as they escape into daylight. Even now, he says he can't explain what he saw, and maybe he doesn't want to. Dre and his friend had been hanging out one evening when a series of strange noises started coming from the attic. At first, they brushed it off, thinking it might just be the wind or an old house creaking, but the sounds kept happening, louder each time. After a bit of debating, they decided to check it out for themselves. Climbing up into the dim attic, they were hit with an instant feeling of unease, like they were being watched. The air felt heavier, and both of them agreed it didn't feel right.
Alright, remember, I gotta turn this thing on here. Recorder's on.
Alright, we got the cripple.
Yeah, I'm the cripple. I'm the EVP director.
The EVP specialist. And, let's see if I can do this. Got myself, Dre. And we're up here because we heard some noises earlier. And we're trying to figure out if we can catch a little bit more. Or try to piss this thing off enough to let us know that it's here.
I heard you up here last night. Make a noise. I kept on hearing stuff in the back of the attic on the back there on the right, like there was something hiding back there. I got it on the recorder, like all these little bangs and scratching noises. And just for the record, there's no wildlife up here. What's your name? Stop hiding and show yourself.
Give us a sign. What the hell was that?
Did you see something?
We just got something on video.
What was it?
Oh my gosh, what was that? Hang on, we gotta stop this.
What did it look like?
In the footage, the camera pans across the far end of the attic, just in time to catch a sudden movement in the shadows. Nobody else was in the house, and no one could have been hiding there without them seeing. The encounter left them certain they had just come face to face with a ghost. Mykolenko is one of those rare ghost hunters whose reputation speaks for itself. Known for his sharp instincts, unshakable composure, and years of experience investigating some of the most infamous haunted locations, he's built a name for himself as the guy who gets results. Clients trust him because he doesn't just chase shadows, he documents them with undeniable clarity. So when he was offered $500 to prove a paranormal presence in a suburban home that had been giving its owners sleepless nights, he didn't hesitate. In the footage, Mykolenko is standing well across the room, far from the old wooden cabinet in question. Without warning, the cabinet begins to shake violently, sending several objects crashing to the floor. The angle is perfect, clear, steady, and without any sign of wires or tampering. The homeowners were convinced on the spot, and true to his word, Mykolenko delivered the proof and walked away with the full $500 in hand. If you want more investigations like this, make sure to subscribe. Mykolenko will be appearing in future videos, and you don't want to miss what he uncovers next. A man was relaxing in his bedroom late at night when a sudden aggressive rattling of a nearby door jolted him upright. At first, he thought it might be the wind, or maybe someone else in the house, but the sound was too intense and frantic to be either. Grabbing his camera, he stepped cautiously out of bed, his breathing already quickening as he edged closer to the source. The footage shows him standing right next to the door as the handle shakes violently on its own. Without warning, the door swings open and then closes again, all while the handle continues to tremble as if being gripped by invisible hands. His loud, panicked breathing fills the audio, making the moment even more unsettling. After the incident, he admitted he didn't sleep for the rest of the night. The next day, he began researching and reaching out to local paranormal hunters, determined to bring in someone experienced who could explain or confront whatever was in his home. Valentina was at the hospital late one evening, sitting in the hallway while her father was being treated. She had no idea that at this exact point in time, her father had already passed away. She was scrolling through her phone, trying to distract herself from the stress, when something caught her attention out of the corner of her eye.
No. Ay, no puede ser, mira.
No, mira.
Es una fantasma acá, loco.
No te puedo creer, la puta madre. Ay, no, lo que le parió. No.
The wheelchair her father regularly used began to roll forward completely on its own, moving smoothly across the corridor without anyone near it. Valentina froze, her fear mixing with confusion as she stared at the empty seat. Later, a nurse informed her that her father's heart had stopped just 2 minutes before the wheelchair had moved. The timing left her shaken, wondering if this was her father's way of saying goodbye. Marcos had just returned home from a long shift at work and was winding down for the night, watching TV in her room. It was quiet, the kind of stillness that usually meant nothing out of the ordinary would happen. But then she heard it, a distinct thud from just outside her bedroom door, like something heavy had fallen. At first, she thought she imagined it, but the sound was too real to ignore. Curious and a little uneasy, she grabbed her phone and started recording before going to check. She slowly opened her bedroom door and immediately spotted an object lying on the floor in the hallway, something that definitely hadn't been there before. As she processed what she was seeing, a chair further down the hall suddenly slid across the floor directly toward her, stopping just a few feet away. Marcos backed up quickly, her breathing picking up as fear set in. Later, she admitted she didn't sleep in her room that night, and was now considering having a paranormal investigator come to see what she might be dealing with. Fabian was sitting in his room watching TV when he heard the familiar sound of his dad's car pulling into the driveway. He quickly turned his head toward the window, trying to catch a glimpse of him arriving. While Fabian's attention was fixed outside, the doll on his bed shifted suddenly, moving in a way that was far from natural. Fabian had no idea. He only turned back a moment later and hurried out of the room to greet his dad. Later, his mum reviewed the security footage from his room and was left stunned by what she saw. The doll had been perfectly still before, and there was no one near it when it moved. The unsettling discovery has her seriously considering moving out before whatever caused it decides to do more. Late at night in Mexico, a family was winding down when one of them claimed to see something strange moving outside from their bedroom window. They described it as a white cloak drifting through the street. So the father decided to head downstairs and step outside to record whatever it was.
Ya, loco, graba. Míralo ahí, loco, míralo ahí. ¿Y qué es lo que está haciendo? Yo te dije, loco, se parece a Martín, loco, el que murió. Cierra la puerta. Cierra la puerta. Llama a papi. Papi, ven que aquí hay una cosa rara, yo no sé qué es. Mira, llámalo, ve. Cierra la puerta. Ay, Dios mío. Mira. Ay, Dios. Llama a papi.
In the footage, A white bedsheet-like shape can be seen floating and twisting through the air, moving in a way that didn't match any breeze. It glided across the road, almost deliberately, before disappearing into the deep shadows beside another house. The family was left unsettled, unsure if it was some elaborate prank or something far stranger. Neighbors have since been warned, but the mystery remains unsolved. Most people would find seeking ghosts a horrible activity that ends up badly, no matter the result. Either you find one and end up running away in fear, or you don't, and end up scrounging around for hours just to go back home again. It's a loss-loss situation. However, some people find the hunt thrilling, especially clueless teenagers, and the ones in our next video definitely weren't on the bright side. They decided to venture deep into the woods to check out an abandoned house, but they failed to remember one thing. Houses tend to be abandoned for a reason.
Come on. Come on. Now be really quiet so we do hear him.
I no one talk, right?
Yeah.
Hey.
Come in fast. I can feel. Right. What? Where's the back door? Wait, just here. Oh shit. Let's go. Let's go. We'll walk down there. Gotta walk down there. Oh, Dioko. Oh, shit, me hard. Yeah, let's go. We'll walk down. Yeah, I follow you. But, no, we don't see anything with the camera.
Yeah, it's too dark.
Yeah.
Not even a fucking window.
What?
It's a fucking window.
What?
It's act.
There's someone who's at the window.
Act?
Someone was at the window.
It's gone really bright now. Is the window after open?
No, it's the same.
Oh, shit!
Immediately after entering, they felt a strange vibe about the location and knew they were straight into the deep end without knowing how to swim. Very quickly after entering, one of them noticed someone or something had passed by the window, and due to being in such a remote location, this was bound to cause fear. After alerting everyone, they stared at the window for a brief moment, and that's when it happened. It slammed shut in one great motion, causing them all to run home, the smartest decision of the night for them. Every night without fail, a man would close one of the doors in the house because he didn't like giving his dog free rein of the place. It was an untrustworthy dog, and he was convinced that it would cause a mess if allowed outside of the sitting room at night, so he decided this was the smart alternative. Strangely though, over the past few weeks, he had been waking up to an open door, and at first he thought his dog had figured out how to do it. It was tall after all. However, one night when he was going to the kitchen, this theory was disproved. Whenever he shut the door, some sort of spiritual face pressed itself against the glass, and it was almost as if it wanted to escape. Paranoid, the man kept opening and closing the door in hopes that the poltergeist would perhaps disappear, but of course, it didn't. Eventually, he got curious and placed his hand against the glass to see what would happen, and it was mesmerizing, to put it lightly. The hand of the spirit pressed against the same place, and the man described a warm feeling filling his body. Perhaps it wasn't an evil spirit at all. Alex is a man who we have seen very recently on this channel, and the haunting that he is going through is one that many would not be able to handle. Quite a while back, his great-grandfather died of natural causes at 93 years of age, which was deeply saddening to the family. They thought that they would never see him ever again at the time, but little did they know Alex would. Last time, a noise led him to some keys that he did not know the purpose of, and he kept them around in case he figured it out. They were involved in this clip too, so take a look.
Okay, I just heard a loud bang out here. It's the middle of the night. Sounded like it was coming from the kitchen. Hello? Oh, shit. Hello? Is there somebody here? Is there somebody here? What the? Okay, so I just came out and saw this chair freaking slide by itself away from the table, and when I look at what was out on the table, what I definitely did not put out here, it is my great-grandfather's journal, his old letters, those keys I found, and a photo album that I had not even known was here. This looks like an old, really old family photo album, and then this is a picture of my grandmother. My great-grandfather's daughter. So I'm freaking out right now. I don't know what the hell's going on. I'm thinking maybe I shouldn't have gone to that graveyard. I don't know.
Again, the clip starts with a loud bang in the middle of the night, as if the ghost's only strategy is luring its prey into its traps. Today's trap was a moving chair that acted as a distraction to Alex, whilst it messed with something else. The ghost somehow gathered a bunch of great-grandfather-related items and placed them all on the same table, which was super creepy for Alex. He is almost certain the cause of this is his great-grandfather, but he feels like the tint of evil is way too high to be him. With the slight possibility of relation to the poltergeist, though, it was enough to make Alex put up with it for a bit longer, and he continued to gather video evidence so he could potentially connect some dots. One night he heard the infamous sounds from downstairs again, so as per usual, went to investigate with full awareness that a spirit was causing it. He was not aware, however, of how crazy this footage was about to be.
So I just captured something else on tape. While I was actually taking the tape, I did not notice it at all, but you go ahead and take a look at it and tell me what you think. Okay, I just heard a really loud noise coming up here from the same place where all the other stuff has been going on. Like something was dragging across the floor. Turn on the lights, like everybody says. Okay, come on. I know I heard something. I don't know. Let's see, I don't know. There's nothing here. Turn on this light down here. No, I don't know. Did you see it? Let's take a closer look. Yeah, so that is somebody peeking out from my laundry room. I couldn't get a good look at it, but I don't know. That definitely looked like somebody to me. And there's nobody there. I've already checked. Nobody who is pale white hiding in my laundry room. So I'm freaked out right now.
Unlike his past footage where the poltergeist does some creepy stuff, with no explanation and mysteriously leaves without a singular way of tracking it. This time it showed itself. Later on, Alex sent it to some relatives to see if it had any resemblance of his great-grandfather in their eyes, as they knew him at a young state, and all of them said that whatever this was, it was definitely different and had an evil intent. Visiting a place that you have complete confidence in being haunted is something that only a psychologically insane person would do, and I would place the two kids in the following video in that category. They were both very young at the time, and their great-grandmother had recently passed away, meaning the family was in a state of despair. Unlike the rest though, these children recovered within a week. They decided to visit her house in an attempt to contact her once again and hid the plan from their parents entirely. This is what went down at the location, so have a look.
Estamos aquí en la casa de mi bisabuela, se fue la... ¿Qué es eso? Se fue la luz. Esta es la casita, porque... y mi mamá... Espérense. Y mi mamá y mi abuela se fueron al Oxxo a comprar velas por eso, por lo que pasó de que se fue la luz. Y pues estamos aquí, estas son las... Mi abuelito... Espérense, no sean chillones. No va a pasar nada. Y esas son las cenizas de mi bisabuelo, porque pues desgraciadamente él ya falleció. Y el baño está allá. El baño, mi hermano quiere hacer pipí, pero el baño está allá. Y mi abuela nos dijo que cuidáramos. Mi abuelo nos dijo que cuidáramos aquí su casa en lo que ellas iban. Pero espérense. Pero pues el problema es que aquí no sabemos. Y pues no tengan miedo. No pasa nada. Abuelito, ¿si estás aquí? Preséntate ante nosotros. Si estás aquí, preséntate ante nosotros. Somos tus nietos.
If you paid enough attention throughout the video, you would have noticed the two most frightening parts about it. First of all, a pair of bright, glowing eyes could be seen without a body, which is often a way in which evil spirits portray themselves to display mystery. Furthermore, some kind of black object kept swaying in and out of the entrance, and while it could have easily been some curtains, it could just as easily be a poltergeist.